The fall before the rise, hook and setup of your story, written in simple, clear English in third-person style. This section is approximately 800 words long and is designed to grab the audience's attention with mystery and suspense. In a quiet corner of the Milky Way, long before the galaxy was torn apart by war, there was a time when humanity was seen as weak and small. The once proud nations of Earth had lost their way. Cities lay in ruins, and the spirit of hope was fading. The people had learned to survive, but they no longer dreamed of greatness. They lived in constant fear of powerful alien races who ruled many parts of the galaxy. Deep in the shadows of space, a council of aliens met secretly. They whispered about a strange decision that had shocked everyone. Humanity was banned from joining the Great War of the galaxy. The council believed that humanity was dangerous because of a hidden secret that only a few brave beings knew. This secret had its roots in a long-forgotten history, one that many had tried to erase. Now, an unlikely group of young alien students had set out to uncover the truth. Among these students was a curious and brave learner named Zarek. Zarek belonged to a peaceful race that lived on a small blue planet. He had bright eyes full of wonder and a mind that never stopped asking questions. Zarek and his friends had heard stories of humanity's fall, how they had lost their honor and why they were not trusted by other star systems. But something in his heart told him that there was more to the story than what the elders had said. Zarek began his quest with a heavy heart and a burning desire to find answers. He traveled across stars to gather old records, dusty manuscripts, and forgotten legends about humanity. As he pieced together clues, he discovered a web of secrets. There were hints of hidden courage and lost hope, of sacrifices made in silence and battles fought without the glory of victory. Every clue made him more determined to reveal what really happened. In a dark corner of a long-abandoned archive on a distant planet, Zarek found an ancient tablet. It was covered in strange symbols and images. Although many had tried to read it, few had the skill to understand its meaning. With the help of a wise old mentor, Zarek slowly began to unlock its secrets. The tablet spoke of a time when humanity fought bravely against forces much stronger than themselves. It told the tale of how, in their desperation, humans made a terrible choice that would change the fate of the entire galaxy. The tablet revealed that humanity had been forced into a corner. A powerful enemy had threatened to wipe out everything they loved. In that moment of terror, human leaders decided to sacrifice their honor in order to save their people. They agreed to a deal with a mysterious force, a deal that ensured their survival, but at a great cost. This act of desperation led to their banishment from the Galactic War, a punishment meant to keep them from ever joining in the battles that shaped the galaxy. Zarek's heart pounded as he read these words. He could not believe that such a noble people had been forced into such a choice. The more he read, the more he felt a connection to the forgotten heroes of Earth. He knew that if he could share this truth with the galaxy, it might change the way aliens saw humanity. It might even give humans a chance to rise again, to be seen as more than just survivors. As Zarek delved deeper into the ancient texts, he began to see a pattern. The actions of humanity were not born of weakness, but of sacrifice. They had chosen to give up their place in the war to protect the innocent, to avoid further destruction. This revelation was shocking to Zarek and his friends. They had been taught that humanity was reckless and unworthy. Now the evidence told a different story, a story of love, bravery, and a commitment to something greater than war. With each passing day, Zarek's resolve grew stronger. He knew that he was on the edge of a great discovery. His journey was dangerous, filled with unknown challenges and hidden enemies who did not want the truth to be known. Yet the thought of standing up for those who had been misunderstood pushed him forward. He began to gather more allies among his fellow students, forming a small band of truth seekers. Together, they planned to travel to Earth to uncover more clues and perhaps find living witnesses to the ancient events. At the same time, whispers of Zarek's quest began to spread across the galaxy. Some powerful forces, who had long maintained the ban on humanity, started to take notice. They feared that if the truth was revealed, Their control over the galactic order would crumble. The stage was set for a conflict that went beyond battles and wars. It was a clash of ideals, of truth versus lies, and of a forgotten past calling for justice. Thus, in the twilight of a fallen era, a new chapter was about to begin. Zarek's journey was the spark that would light the flame of change. As he prepared to set out on his dangerous mission to Earth, he did so with hope and determination. The fate of humanity and the balance of the galaxy hung in the balance, waiting for the truth to be set free. This marks the beginning of the story, setting up the mystery behind humanity's fall and the hidden truth that young alien students like Zarek are determined to uncover. The shadows of the past, investigation and revelation of your story, written in simple, clear English in third-person style. This section continues the journey of Zarek and his friends as they dig deeper into the hidden history behind humanity's van from the Galactic War. After the shocking revelations found in the ancient tablet, Zarek and his group of truth-seeking students set their sights on a new destination, Earth. They believed that many answers lay hidden on the planet once known as home to humanity's great heroes. Though Earth was now a distant memory to most alien races, whispers of its past brilliance still echoed in the dusty records scattered across the galaxy. Zarek led his small band on a long and difficult journey across star systems. Their vessel moved silently through the dark space between worlds, carrying not only supplies, but also the weight of hope and determination. Every star they passed reminded them of the lost glory of humanity and the promise of a future built on truth. With each passing light year, the excitement and anxiety among the team grew. When they finally arrived in the orbit of Earth, they found the planet to be shrouded in mystery. Vast, empty cities and crumbling monuments were all that remained of what was once a thriving civilization. Yet in the ruins, there were still hints of beauty and resilience. Mysterious murals on decaying walls, hidden inscriptions in abandoned libraries, and even tales passed down by a few surviving elders. These pieces of evidence convinced Zarek and his friends that the truth was still hidden in plain sight. The team began their investigation in one of Earth's last remaining cities. In a quiet, forgotten archive room, they discovered a collection of dusty records and journals written by people who had lived during the height of the conflict. One journal, in particular, caught Zarek's attention. It was written by a human leader who had been part of the secret pact that led to humanity's banishment. The pages were filled with desperate pleas, reflections on difficult decisions, and regrets over the choices made in the heat of battle. As Zarek read through the fragile pages, he began to understand the complexity of the situation. The journal revealed that humanity had not chosen the path of self-destruction or cowardice. Rather, they had made a painful decision to protect a greater good. Faced with an enemy that threatened not only their planet but the entire galaxy, human leaders had chosen to sacrifice their right to join the war. They believed that by staying out of the conflict, they could prevent a greater loss of life and avoid unleashing even more chaos across the stars. The more Zarek learned, the more he realized that the human story was one of sorrow and sacrifice. The journal detailed secret meetings held in hidden bunkers, where desperate plans were drawn up in the dim light of hope. The human leaders discussed deals with unknown powers, not out of greed or ambition, but out of a genuine fear of what might happen if they continued fighting. Their decision, though controversial and misunderstood by others in the galaxy, was born from a desire to protect the innocent and preserve what little peace remained. One passage in the journal stood out to Zarek. It described a moment of quiet bravery, a time when a small group of human soldiers had risked their lives to save a group of children trapped in a collapsing building during a massive explosion. This act of compassion was not just a moment of heroism. It was a powerful reminder that even in the darkest times, humanity held on to hope and love. For Zarek, these words were a turning point. They shifted his perspective from viewing humanity as a weak and dangerous race to understanding them as a people capable of great kindness and sacrifice. As Zarek and his team continued to search through the archives, they began to piece together a timeline of events. They learned that the secret pact was not an easy choice. It was the result of long nights of heated debates, heavy hearts, and the harsh reality of a war that threatened to consume everything. The very decision that had led to humanity's vanishment was also the decision that saved countless lives. This duality, a mix of regret and relief, was at the heart of the mystery that the alien students sought to understand. Outside the archive, as the night settled over the ruined city, Zarek looked up at the sky. The stars above twinkled softly, as if they were keeping ancient secrets of their own. He felt a deep connection to the long-forgotten humans who had once gazed at these same stars with dreams of reaching new worlds. In that quiet moment, Zarek vowed to continue his quest. He was determined to bring the full story to light, to show the galaxy that humanity's past was not one of disgrace, but of profound sacrifice and hidden courage. But as the team prepared to leave the city, dark shadows began to gather. There were those in the galaxy who wished to keep the past buried. Rumors spread of a powerful group intent on stopping anyone who dared reveal the truth. The tension in the air grew heavier with every passing moment. Zarek and his friends sensed that their discoveries had put them in danger. Yet, with the knowledge they had gathered and the promise of further revelations on Earth, they chose to push forward. In the silent corridors of the archive and the lonely streets of Earth, the shadows of the past stirred. The secrets of humanity's hidden sacrifice were beginning to take shape, and with them, a challenge to the galactic order was emerging. The team knew that their next steps would be perilous, but the truth was too important to ignore. Their investigation had transformed from a quest for knowledge into a mission for justice, a mission that could change the fate of the entire galaxy. Thus, with a deeper understanding of humanity's tragic and heroic choices, Zarek and his band of students prepared to face the dangers that lay ahead. They stepped into the darkness with hearts full of hope and minds ready to uncover even more secrets, determined to reveal the true story behind humanity's banishment from the Galactic War. The gathering storm, rising resistance, and new alliances of your story, written in simple, clear English in third-person style. This section continues the journey of Zarek and his friends as they face new challenges and unexpected dangers, while building a growing resistance to reveal humanity's hidden truth. Zarek and his team left the ruined archive behind with heavy minds and determined hearts. The secrets they had uncovered on Earth sparked not only hope, but also a growing tension throughout the galaxy. Word of their findings had spread faster than they could have imagined. Now, powerful forces began to mobilize to stop them from sharing the truth of humanity's sacrifice. On the dark edges of a distant nebula, Zarek's vessel drifted silently as his crew prepared for the next stage of their journey. Each member of the group, though different in appearance and culture, shared a single purpose: to free the lost honor of humanity and break the silence that had kept their story hidden for so long. The air aboard the ship was filled with a mix of excitement and fear. They knew the risks they were taking, yet the call for justice was stronger than the fear of punishment. In the heart of the ship, Zarek gathered his closest friends in a small, dimly lit room. Maps and ancient texts were spread across a table, marking points of interest and danger. One of his friends, Lyra, a resourceful and brave student from a distant star system, pointed to a marked region on the map. "This area was once known as the Hub of Knowledge," she said softly. "It is said to hold more records of the great past, including hidden truths about the pact that led to humanity's banishment." Her words filled the room with a new sense of purpose. The Hub of Knowledge was rumored to be a place where lost libraries and secret meeting halls were kept safe by those who believed in truth and justice. The location was dangerous, guarded by systems loyal to the powers who wished to bury the past. Yet, for Zarek and his group, it was a beacon of hope, a place where they could find more answers and perhaps even allies. As the vessel sped through space toward the hub, the team faced constant challenges. They encountered small patrols sent by the mysterious forces determined to keep the ancient secrets hidden. In one tense encounter near a forgotten asteroid field, Zarek's ship narrowly escaped a skirmish. The close call reminded everyone aboard that their mission was seen as a threat to the established order. Every move they made was being watched, and every discovery brought them closer to dangerous enemies. Despite these threats, Zarek noticed a change among his crew. What had begun as a small group of curious students was now evolving into a united band of resistance. They shared stories of their own worlds and the struggles they had faced under the harsh rule of the galactic powers. Even though each had a different background, they found common ground in their desire to see the truth come to light. Their unity grew as they realized that many in the galaxy had suffered under false stories and hidden lies. During a long night in deep space, when the stars glowed faintly in the darkness, Zarek sat by a large window, lost in thought. He remembered the words from the ancient journal he had read on Earth, recalling the sacrifice made by human leaders to protect the innocent. The memory fueled his resolve. He knew that the journey ahead would be perilous, but he also understood that the fight for truth was more important than any personal safety. Before reaching the hub of knowledge, the group decided to make a brief stop at a neutral space station known as Orion's Rest. This station was famous for its diversity of travelers, traders, and scholars from across the galaxy. There, in the bustling common area, they hoped to meet others who believed in justice and who might be willing to join their cause. Zarek and Lyra split up to speak with the residents, sharing their story in simple, honest words. To their surprise, many responded with empathy and offered help. One elderly scholar, known as Miro, listened carefully to Zarek's recount of the human sacrifice and the hidden records of Earth. "I have seen many secrets lost to time," Miro said slowly, his voice heavy with wisdom. "The truth you seek is powerful. It can shake the very foundations of our galaxy. But be cautious. The forces that guard these secrets do not forgive easily." His words were a warning and a blessing all at once. With new allies and valuable advice, Zarek's group left Orion's Rest with fresh hope and a clearer plan. They now had both the knowledge from ancient texts and the support of those who believed in their mission. Every new friend they made was a step closer to exposing the real story behind humanity's vanishment. As the ship approached the coordinates of the hub of knowledge, the tension on board rose to a fever pitch. The crew braced for what they knew would be a critical moment in their journey. They could sense that danger was lurking around every corner. Yet, united in their cause, they were ready to face whatever challenges came their way. The gathering storm was no longer a distant threat. It was here, in the hearts of those who fought for the truth, and it promised to change the balance of power in the galaxy. Zarek and his allies prepared to land on a world that held the key to many more secrets. The future of humanity's legacy and the fate of countless lives now depended on the courage of a small band of students willing to risk everything for the truth. Thus, as the vessel drew closer to the hub of knowledge, the resistance grew stronger, and the storm of change began to build. Every star, every planet, and every soul in the galaxy could soon feel the ripple of this quest for justice, as Zarek and his friends set their course toward a new dawn of truth. The Hidden Archives, Secrets of the Hub Unveiled, of your story, written in simple, clear English in third-person style. This section follows Zarek and his allies as they reach the legendary hub of knowledge and uncover more hidden truths about humanity's past and its mysterious banishment. After leaving Orion's Rest with renewed hope and fresh allies, Zarek's group finally approached the coordinates marked on their ancient map. The vessel slowed near a small, mysterious planet covered in lush greenery and crumbling stone structures. This was the hub of knowledge, a secret world said to hold lost libraries, hidden meeting halls, and archives filled with the truths of old. The planet's surface shimmered under a soft light, as if it was inviting those with honest hearts to uncover its secrets. The group landed cautiously on the outskirts of what looked like an abandoned city. Tall stone pillars and arches, overgrown with vines, reminded them of an ancient civilization built to honor wisdom. Zarek, Lyra, and their friends moved quietly along narrow pathways. Their footsteps echoed as they entered a grand hall with broken statues and faded murals that told stories of a time when knowledge was treasured above all else. In the center of the hall, a massive door covered in strange symbols stood closed. The door seemed to be a guardian of secrets, and the symbols hinted at a language lost to many. With gentle care and determination, Zarek examined the carvings. He remembered the lessons from the old tablet he had found on his earlier journey, and with the help of his mentor's advice, he slowly decoded the basic meaning behind the symbols. They spoke of trust, sacrifice, and the eternal quest for truth. With a careful push, the door creaked open to reveal a hidden archive room, filled with rows of ancient scrolls, stone tablets, and holographic records. Dust danced in the beams of light that entered through shattered windows. Every shelf and corner of the room whispered the voices of those who had preserved the history of countless worlds. Zarek's heart pounded as he realized that this was a treasure trove of forgotten knowledge. The group split into smaller teams to explore different sections of the archive. Lyra and a few others began studying scrolls and tablets that described the great wars of the past, while Zarek led another team to inspect a series of holographic records stored in a crystalline device. The holograms flickered to life as they were activated, projecting images of council meetings, secret negotiations, and the painful decisions made by human leaders during the war. One record, in particular, caught Zarek's eye. It showed a heated meeting among Earth's leaders. Their faces, filled with worry and determination, spoke of a terrible enemy that threatened not only Earth but the entire galaxy. In a desperate bid to protect their people, these leaders agreed to a hidden pact with an unknown power, a decision that would later cause humanity's banishment from the Galactic War. The hologram also revealed that this pact came with strict conditions. The humans were forbidden from joining any intergalactic conflicts, a rule meant to keep the balance of power unchanged. As Zarek watched the recording, he felt a mix of anger and sympathy. He understood that the human leaders had chosen a path of sacrifice to protect many lives, even if it meant giving up their honor and place among the stars. His thoughts were interrupted when one of his friends, Terran, discovered another set of records that offered a different perspective. These records, written by a mysterious archivist from a long-forgotten world, suggested that the pact had hidden clauses that might reveal a way to lift the ban on humanity if the truth was accepted and the true enemy was exposed. The discovery of these hidden clauses brought a new light of hope to Zarek and his allies. It meant that the current galactic order, based on lies and fear, might be changed. However, they soon realized that this valuable knowledge came with a grave warning. The records also showed that those who once sought to hide the truth were powerful and ruthless. The very forces that had banished humanity were still active, using fear and strict rules to keep other races in check. While the group continued to gather as much information as possible, they also knew that time was against them. The hidden archives were not meant to be open to just anyone. There were signs of security systems still active in the background. Ancient traps, coded alarms, and even automated guardians left behind to protect the secrets. The atmosphere grew tense as soft sounds of mechanisms stirring in the shadows reminded them that they were not alone. Working quickly, Zarek and his team carefully copied the records onto secure devices. They knew that once they left the hub, they would have to share this knowledge with other trusted allies across the galaxy. The idea of a united resistance, formed by those who believed in truth and justice, was now more real than ever. Just as the group was about to exit the archive, a low hum filled the room. Automated systems began to activate, and hidden doors started to close. Zarek's pulse quickened as he ordered everyone to gather near the main exit. They moved as one, guided by the hope that their mission was just beginning and that the truths they had uncovered could change the future for all. As they stepped out into the twilight of the ancient city, Zarek took a deep breath. The secrets of the hub of knowledge had deepened the mystery and raised even more questions about humanity's fate in the galaxy. Their next steps would be filled with danger, as the powers who wished to hide the past would surely come after them. But with the hidden archives in their possession, Zarek and his allies now carried the spark of a rebellion, one that could set the truth free and challenge the very foundation of the Galactic Order. Thus, within the silent, ancient walls of the hub of knowledge, Zarek and his friends discovered the hidden story of sacrifice, betrayal, and hope. The secrets they uncovered now lit a path toward a future where truth might finally overcome the shadows of the past. The call to arms, the spark of rebellion, of your story, written in simple, clear English in third-person style. This section follows Zarek and his allies as they leave the hub of knowledge and prepare to fight against the dark forces that wish to keep the truth hidden. With the hidden archives secured in their devices and hearts full of determination, Zarek and his group left the ancient city behind. The cool night air on the planet's surface carried both the scent of Earth and the promise of change. Every step they took away from the hub of knowledge felt like a step toward a future where the truth could no longer be buried. The journey back to their base at Orion's Rest was tense. The team moved quietly through dark, overgrown paths, alert for any sign of danger. Zarek led the group, his eyes scanning the shadows for hidden threats. Every sound made them jump, and every rustle of leaves reminded them that the guardians of the old order might be close behind. The hidden security systems they had narrowly escaped in the archive still echoed in their minds. Once aboard their vessel, the group gathered in the main meeting room. The soft hum of the engines filled the silence as Zarek began to speak. We have found the records that reveal the truth of humanity's sacrifice and the secret pact. These records show that the decision was made to save lives, but they also hide clues on how to undo the ban that keeps humanity out of the Galactic War. His words were calm but carried a deep passion that touched every heart in the room. Lyra added, "The evidence we now hold will change the way the galaxy sees humanity. We cannot let the forces who wish to hide these truths continue to control us with fear and lies. It is time to call others to our side." Her voice was steady and clear, echoing the hope that was growing among them. The meeting sparked a lively discussion. Each member of the group shared ideas on how to use the records to reach out to other oppressed races and individuals who longed for freedom and truth. They decided that their next step was to send messages through secure channels to trusted contacts across the galaxy. These messages would share what they had discovered and invite others to join a growing rebellion against the powers that had long maintained a false order. As preparations began, the team also took time to reflect on the significance of their mission. Zarek remembered the faces of the human leaders in the holograms, their expressions full of sorrow and courage. He felt a deep connection to their sacrifice. "They did what they had to do to protect life," he said quietly. "Now, it is our duty to honor that sacrifice by standing up for the truth and for all those who have been silenced." With the message prepared and the plan in place, the group split into teams. One team, led by Lyra, stayed aboard the vessel to send out the messages, carefully encoding them so that only those who were ready to fight for the truth could read them. Another team, with Zarek at its head, planned to travel to a hidden gathering place known as the Sanctuary of Voices. This sanctuary was a safe haven where rebels, scholars, and freethinkers from many worlds had secretly met for centuries. There, they would present the evidence and build a stronger, united resistance. As the teams set off on their separate missions, the galaxy began to stir with whispers of rebellion. In remote space stations, on dusty planets, and even in the crowded corridors of powerful star systems, the message of hidden truth started to spread. The records from the hub of knowledge were more than just pieces of history. They were a spark that ignited the desire for change in countless hearts. People who had long suffered under strict control now found hope that the old, unjust order could be challenged. Back on the vessel, as the message team worked diligently to send out their encoded transmissions, Zarek's team traveled through winding cosmic routes toward the Sanctuary of Voices. Their journey was not without peril. They narrowly escaped patrols sent by secret agents of the old order, who had begun to sense that a rebellion was on the rise. The close calls only strengthened their resolve, as each escape was a reminder of how high the stakes were. During a quiet moment on the bridge, as starlight played softly on their faces, Zarek looked out into the endless dark of space. He saw not just emptiness, but the gathering of countless souls waiting for freedom. His heart swelled with hope. "Every star out there holds someone who wants the truth," he said. "Our mission is just beginning. Soon, the old powers will have to face a united force of people from every corner of the galaxy." As the vessel sped onward toward the sanctuary, the tension was replaced by a growing sense of unity. New allies began to join the call. Small groups, once isolated and afraid, now moved openly, sharing the secrets that Zarek and his friends had uncovered. The rebellion was growing from a spark into a flame. In that moment, with the vast galaxy spreading out before them, Zarek and his allies knew that a turning point had arrived. The decision of those long-ago human leaders was not a mark of disgrace, but a reminder of sacrifice made in the name of peace. Now, it was time for the galaxy to learn the truth. The call to arms had been sounded, and a new chapter was about to be written. A chapter where truth, unity, and hope would light the path to a better future.